Hi, it is free chatting time. So, a few days ago, uh, a few of my friends in traditional Chinese martial art from Asia and me was discussing the future of traditional Chinese martial art. To discuss various style and so forth, so forth. So at one point, a friend asked me, so what is my view on the future of Wing Chun? And I share with him what I think, what I observe, and so today I like to share with you what I share with my friends. Okay, so you all have a first direct view on what I'm sharing. Okay, instead of heard from different people. Now the first thing is future. Well, who can predict future? There's too many variables. There's the technology side, there's a human side, there are many things, okay, and the world is changing and so forth. However, the technology trend, that thing can be predicted, okay? So it's like in the Silicon Valley. For a certain technology, you can actually look at the technology's history, and then you can interpolate, extrapolate. You can see many things there. You can have an insight of the technology. Okay. So for me, what I share with my Asia friends is what I see based on this data. Okay, which is I want to share with you today. Now, this is a tough topic. It's a very difficult topic to discuss because we will tend to get into defensive and subjective, okay, when we discuss this type of stuff, because when it get down to the bottom line, many people get defensive, okay, and if I will telling me who is 20 years ago on what I'm going to share with you today, probably the guy me who is 20 years ago might not like it too, okay. So that's very understandable that what I'm going to share with you, many people might not like it, might even oppose it against it, okay. But I'm going to share with you based on data analysis, like treat it like the Silicon Valley technology, how this thing evolve, how it come and what happened, what is the tendency you will go, you can interpolate, extrapolate to see things, okay, based on data, okay. So what I'm going to share with you is not that, I think so, I believe so. No, let's look at the data and let the data tell us what is going on, okay. So we want to take today's data and we want to take the ancient data and look at it, and we can interpolate and then we can extrapolate what is going on, okay, or what might be happen, or what is the trend can cause what type of outcome, okay. So if you stay with the Chinese traditional Chinese martial art history, you know that for past 2 years, he who fought Xi Xiaodong, okay, a few days ago, just make a public statement in the newspaper and in his video, saying that Tai Chi today is not the young Tai Chi today is not for fighting, is for health. Such and such techniques being dropped, such and such techniques being changed, okay. So after 2 years, of his looking into his young Tai Chi, he made that statement. Okay, we can remember that when when the Xi Xiaodong KO him, he was saying that, oh, he have this internal power. If he use the internal power, well, it's too deadly and so forth, so forth. But 2 years later, after he go through different thing, and then he addressed that. Okay, this is part of the traditional Chinese martial art. This is fact. Okay. Another thing which is get into everybody's view for past 2 years is Wing Chun. Okay, Wing Chun was having competitions with the people who is associated with the Xi Xiaodong group. Okay, and then actually this guy Chen, after the fight, he was making he was interviewed and pick and tell different things on Wing Chun. Well, he's a 6-7 years old Wing Chuners before he switch to train boxing. Okay, so he addressed many problematic issue of Wing Chun. Okay, this is I think in the March, if my memory serves. And those issues were addressed publicly in videos. Okay. So yeah, see that he tell what it is. So there are a few issues he's mentioning, like the power generations, the footwork, so forth. Okay, so if you're interested, you can go watch it. Get somebody to translate to you, watch it. So there is the data of the present day. Okay, what you have, what you don't have in Wing Chun, generically, in general, he has addressed it. Okay, so he was in the competitions, and after the competition, he addressed his issue and so forth, and he addressed Wing Chun issue. Okay, now that's today. So we know what is Wing Chun today in general. Okay, this guy Xiong Chen have put it in a category or in the outline. Okay, so we know what it is. Okay, nobody can how do you say that, can avoid it. It is in the public, and in fact for so many months everybody keep quiet. Besides, I wrote a blog in my blog and posted in the Asia forum that I don't agree with him. Okay, but the rest, there's no technical response to that. Okay, so that's today. Now we want to look into what is going on with traditional Chinese martial arts. And if we know what is going on in the ancient traditional Chinese martial art, including Wing Chun evolution, then we know what is the trend of the Wing Chun technology need to develop, and the different scenario it will going to become the future. Okay, because this is a technology. So let's start from here. It's very important to start at 1540. Okay, at 1540, traditional Chinese martial at that time is a single element, and partial okay, and partial. In general, okay, in general, okay, we want to say in general, okay, in general. It's single element and partial. So what does it mean? Okay, so what single element means, if the guy who train in say fighting in a distance, okay, a long fist, then the guy only train long fist. If the guy who train fighting in close, then it's just train only the fighting in the close. And then often that it is you train only the upper body, very good in say striking in the upper part of the body, but the lower part of the body is not trained, developed, those kind of stuff. So the year 1540, traditional Chinese martial art is like that. Okay. Now, at that time, the China facing a big issue, the issue of the Japanese pirate invading or making trouble to the southern China coast. Okay. So the emperor sent all kinds of grandmaster and so forth to fight, including the Shaolin, to fight the Japanese pirate. Nobody win, all lost. Okay, the Ming dynasty army is like it's very difficult to even keep the pirate away. Like something like 10,000 Ming army cannot handle 1,000 pirate, those kind of stuff. Okay, and sure, you can hear all kind of story about the hero grandmaster fighting the Japanese pirate, like the Ye Kong, the martial monk Ye Kong from Shaolin. Ye is moon, Kong is emptiness. Okay, and he died. Okay, so that's what happened. Okay, 1540. That is what the situation of traditional Chinese martial art is. Okay, the long fist learn long fist, the wrestling guy learn wrestling, the short strike guy learn short strike. Okay, that's all what they do. Now, because of this loss of the Ming army lost in the fighting with the Japanese pirate, by 1550, there's a group of general, okay, the lead today we know is General Qu. The lead general is General Qu. Okay. So what happened is that at 1550, General Qu and his team, there's a big team there, a lot of people there, actually reorganize the traditional Chinese martial arts. Okay, so it make a change. It evolved down that say people who practice long fist, they also will the long fist as the core. They also aware of the 4 momentum zone fighting, meaning the momentum zone of the long fist, the long range, the short range with the short strike, the takedown range, and the ground fighting range. Okay, so at 1550, you have you evolved traditional Chinese martial art into the situation that you have the core, and then you have the applications for the 4 zone. Okay. So now, even people who fought with the long fist, they aware of the 4 zone of fighting. So they update, even though their core is still the long fist, and they be able to handle the four momentum zone. Okay, compare with here, which is a single element, or I just have a long fist and the rest I don't know. Okay, so this is make it more comprehensive in the 1550s. Okay, now so it evolved into the 1550s. So it evolved into the 1550s. So this is the single element type. This is a partial, and then this is become you have a core element. You plus the four momentum zone type. It evolved, come down like that due to the group of people working with General Qi Guang. And if you see General Qi Guang's creations or inventions, it is this type. Okay, the 32 posture sets of the 32 momentum sets of the General Qi Guang, 32 momentum set of a General Qi Guang. It is a core with four momentum zone. Okay, so that's what it is. Now, one other thing we need to be really careful also. In one way, General Qi Guang evolved this unarmed combat down to this. On the other hand, for years that the Chinese had problem with fighting with the Japanese sword, the samurai sword. Okay. So General Qi Guang at this time get into metallurgical improvement on their weapons, the sword, and also the breakthrough of be able to defeat the Japanese pirate come in when the General Qi Guang acquired a copy of the Japanese sword scroll or scriptures of how to train the Japanese sword or the samurai sword fighting. Okay, and General Qi Guang found the Japanese sword scroll, it cracked it, and then it developed, based on this, it developed something on top of this Japanese sword scroll technology, and with that he be able to defeat the Japanese pirate. Okay, before that scroll happened, he's not winning too. Okay, so that's what is the reality. Now, so the Japanese at this time we found out is much better than the single element and partial type of stuff. Japanese is really detailed and systematic. Okay, in training. So that's why General Qi Guang has to make this evolution to be able to face the Japanese pirate and the end keeping evolve and chase the Japanese pirate out of China. Okay, now so by 1560s, this technology, this fighting technology already done, and guess what? In 1960, it traveled to Korea. This information go to Korea, go back to Japan. Okay, it's evolution, a new evolution here. Okay, so you have 1540, okay, which is the single element and partial mostly, and then you have all the grandmaster and all this kind of thing, but it doesn't work. So 1550, the start of the evolution of core plus the applications of the four momentum zone, and then the Japanese sword okay, evolutions, and then by 1560s, around that era, it done, and it chased the Japanese pirate away, so it got victory and so forth. Okay, now, so this thing get to Korea, this thing get back to Japan. Okay, this is the evolution of the technology. Okay, so this is what happened. Okay, now, so a part of this, which is the short strike part, okay, so in other words that it is a short strike art plus the 4 momentum zone application, the short strike as the core, get to different part of the world. Okay, get to the different part of the world. Okay, it also get to Japan. If you look at the Okinawa, the Bubishi, which is Okinawan karate, it is influenced by them. Okay. Now, so 1540, 1550, 1560s. Okay. So this go to say Korea, go to Japan, okay, and it of course influenced the China. Okay, so we talk about the focus on the short strike part plus the 4 momentum zone application type of art. It go to Shaolin. Okay, so it also you go to the Okinawan Bubishi. Okay, all this you can see different art, the short strike with combinations of takedown and so forth. Okay, now, so at the around 1784, we know that there's a writing of the Shaolin on this thing, on the short strike art with the different momentum zone. Okay, and of course this is going through different part of China and become different part of short strike art. Okay, and now all this common denominator landed in the fine jade of Red Boat. Okay, fine jade of Red Boat in Fatsan, and that is where Wing Chun is known in the history that it is developed, or it is starting there. Okay, this is time in the 1840s, something like that. Okay, so it's in the mid 1840s or early 1800. Okay, now, so with this with this 1840s at Fatsan, this King Fa or the Fine Jade Association of the Red Boat, that's where Wing Chun come in. So Wing Chun is a short strike art. Okay, a short strike art, core in the short strike with the 4 momentum zone. We know it today. Okay, but if you look at the Yikam, the writing of the Shilin Tao from Yikam passed down, you know what happened in this 1850 stuff. Okay, so and so again 1540, 1550, 1560s, and then we know the 1784, we know that, and then 1850s, we know this is a Wing Chun, this is a short strike core plus 4 momentum zone. Okay, so it's keeping evolve from top down, okay, until here. And so we know that the fine jade uprising, the rebel uprising lost. So this thing, we talk about Wing Chun here, is spreading to different lineage or different group, and then it further come down to today. This is 2018. Okay. Now, this short strike with the 4 momentum zone core, okay, which is have a common denominator here. If you look at the guy who is talking about, is this guy? You look at his descriptions, you know that majority of this thing is no longer known today. Okay, it's the technology is no longer known because it's been evolved in many different directions. Okay, so this is Wing Chun today. Wing Chun today. Okay, it can be many things. Okay, just you can call it Hendrix Wing Chun or Joe Wing Chun or Lee Wing Chun or whoever's Wing Chun. Okay, whether it is still this or not, there is a question. However, we need to be careful. 1560, we know that a part of this Qi Guang's evolution get to Japan. Okay, and then it get to what? It get to Judo. Okay, Judo. Now, they have the core, they preserve the core, and we need to know that many traditional Chinese culture and technology is usually lost in China, but when the Korean or the Japanese took it to Japan or to Korea, they preserve it. Okay, so we know that the judo and so forth, and it get to evolve. Of course, it evolve with the Japanese hardworking and so forth, and then when it get into Olympic time, it get into scientific. Okay, like the COG, and this is 8 ways of off-balance people and so forth. Okay, so it is pretty scientific here. Now you get to physics, it's get to scientific here, and it still get this really systematic and details characteristics, like when the Qi Guang, General Qi Guang developed that thing. Okay. However, from 1850 until today in Wing Chun site, what we can see today is that many things is invented after the 1860s, the loss of the uprising until today. People just can give a word saying that this is my interpretations, and that's the end of it. This is my Wing Chun, this is my interpretation. As for the Japanese, they don't. They follow a lot of things from the ancient, they preserve that thing, they know the root, and then they evolve from the root. Okay, without losing the root, the core. The Chinese don't. Okay, and this is actually in many, even in Buddhism, the same thing. Like the esoteric Buddhism of the Chinese esoteric Buddhism, the Chinese didn't have it anymore. So the Chinese have to, early 1900, has to go to Japan to study back, to take back whatever is lost. Okay, today we know that Tibetan Buddhism is esoteric Buddhism and Tibetan Buddhism. The Chinese have one sect of that, but it's gone. Need to get back from Japan. Okay, so with this, we can see one thing. 1540. Okay, so here 1540. Okay, this is single element partial. Okay, and then you have this evolutions, and this get into Japan, and then you get the judo, you go to Olympic, and then it is physics, it's modern science, modernized now, and then today you get into the BJJ type. Okay, just evolve from this base. Okay, now for the Chinese, the short strike, like for example the core, the common denominator of the Wing Chun, we know that 1784, the Shaolin. I use Shaolin is because 1784, we always say, well, Wing Chun is from Shaolin, Wing Chun is from Shaolin. So let's get the real thing in the history, which is be able to, everybody have investigate and know it's true. Okay, the Shaolin short strike document there. So this is 1850s, and then this is all kinds of evolutions today. Okay, and so over here, 1850s, you have the short strike plus the 4 momentum zone, short strike core. Over here, it is a big question mark here. Okay, it is a big question mark here. And over here, 1960s until today, you can see people bring in something called internal. Okay, all this internal and so forth. But wait a minute. Sorry, sir, we don't see internal in the mainstream of the Chinese history. In the fighting, in the real fighting thing. Okay? We don't see it here. And you see, the Japanese judo, Japanese karate, before judo is jujitsu, of course, right? The Japanese karate, jujitsu actually inherit a big part which is very close to what 1560 type of art. Okay, and over here you have this internal, and then start people making movies, and then taking to the legends of the movies, and it end up Wing Chun today as this guy talking about. Okay, so we like it or not, this is reality. Okay, just go go watch this and see what he tells us about Wing Chun. And in fact, the reason I reply him on my blog and Xi Xiaodong and so forth, because I want to make a record, because Xi Xiaodong and him do not understand Wing Chun, do not understand what is going on here, and I'm not going to let him go walk free. We need to leave something in the record that we Wing Chuners are not moron. We know what the heck is going on. Okay. So this is what happened. But whatever he said, whatever is true by evidence, we have to accept that. That's what Wing Chun today. Okay. So now, if you want to talk about the future of Wing Chun, you look at the technology trend. What he is talking about here. Guess what? It's back to 1540. It is a single core, a single element, partial type of art. It's back to that. Okay? Wing Chun. I didn't say it. But that guy who has 7 years and defeat Wing Chun Sifu in China, in mass public, say that. Go back to 1540. Okay? So with this, we know if we want to bring Wing Chun back and then develop it better, we have to go through this path. Study and learn and walking the direction like the Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, and today's BJJ. That is the reality. Okay? If you want to develop that technology, that's the reality. Otherwise, we know that here is a mess because you look at it's not only Wing Chun, even like Tai Chi, this guy who's telling you, like this guy. Okay, so are we going to spiral inside this internal energy, Jing, and all those kind of stuff? You know it will not stay alive here. It's going to be vanish soon if it's not going through. And if you look at this from the General Chi Chi Guang after evolution going to Japan, and then Japan took it and like Judo evolved and using scientific analysis and so forth, and today's BJJ, keeping evolve. You know that is a proper direction, and you know that here. Even General Chi Chi Guang, from the single element partial evolved down to 1560 because they support by the emperor. They also have a group of general doing those things. You know this directions and this direction is proper. You know this direction is proper. This direction since 1860s to today is actually doing what exactly in the 1540 is. Okay, exactly what is 1540 is. You have this one grandmaster who claimed to know this and very good in this, and it is partial. And then when you want to facing the Japanese, who is detailist, who is systematic, it lost. That's why General Chi Chi Guang need to do that. Okay, so for example, like today, right? The judo guy, for example, the judo guy have this, was trained and proven in the physics and so forth for the 8 ways of off-balance ones. Now, if one never trained that, one have no idea, one once get into that judo range, which is a short strike range, and have no idea of that 8 direction of off-balance. One is dead meat. One walking into the track where people prepare for you. There's 8 ways they can change. Well, you don't have anything to, how can you suddenly invent something to face them? Well, again, this is back to the 1540. That's why the Chinese lost big time. Okay. So if you need to talk about that, about the evolutions or the future of Wing Chun. Okay, so this is 1540, 1550, 1560s. Okay, say this is to the Jiu-Jitsu, Judo. This is Olympic time. And then it go physics. And then it go evolve more like today's BJJ and so forth. This is a proper way. The Chinese doing that. The Japanese doing that. That's how it is reality. Okay? Not the 160 years from 1860 until today, 2018, you have all kind of internal mind power, this Tai Chi mix and everything. And it end up that with that 2 guys there telling you already, hey, Wing Chun do not have this, do not have this, do not have this. Tai Chi do not have this, it is good for health. That's why I end up I didn't say that. It is in public. Okay, so don't against me. Okay, if you don't like it, go answer to Xiong Chen Chen. Okay, since he had made that video public interview, million of people saw that. Okay, answer to him. Don't shoot me as a messenger. Okay, and also for the Lei Lei, the Wei Lei, the Tai Chi guy, he's making public. Go debate with him. Okay, not shooting the messenger here. So this is the proper way. Okay. Now, one thing you have to be really careful is this. Has to be really careful is this. So the year is 1560s. The beginning of a new chapter, a volume, a new volume. So you have Chinese martial, you have Fa, Chun, Gong. You have three things there. Okay? Fa in today's, this is the content of whatever the martial art at that time. This is Fa is the handling of impulse momentum. The handling of the impulse or momentum. Chun is the form, okay, or the movement which is supporting the momentum, impulse momentum. Gong is the body conditioning which is supporting so that the body can carry out and implement the momentum is needed. So this is the fundamental. When one say one have a complete training, one have this by 1560s. Okay? Now, so what is advanced? Advanced means one be able to play this good. Okay? Play the impulse momentum, dynamically change, and so this is advanced. So what founded now the fundamental one need to know this. And then if you look at that, you map that like today's say judo, okay? You see judo is a different way of throwing the, like I show you just now, the 8 ways of off balance and all this momentum handling and the way how you move to throw different type of groundwork, and then the body conditioning. Okay, the judo. I use judo is because it's Olympic, right? Don't we Wing Chuners say, well, you want to go to Olympic? No. That is the standard. They have that standard. They know what is judo, okay? So what is judo is the uniqueness, the core of judo is always there, and then it evolved, back to the jiu-jitsu, okay? And of course jiu-jitsu is here before judo. Now jiu-jitsu evolved to judo, and then this one, of course, it can whatever good here in the physics and so forth, it is propagate into jiu-jitsu too, like your BJJ and so forth. People talk about the in the physics and so forth too, right? So this jiu-jitsu, judo, and today's BJJ, they're in the proper evolutions, and they based on this thing, the momentum, the body move, okay, the form, and then the body conditioning. And then advanced mean they're really good at that. After they master the experience with this fundamental, and they're good with that. Okay, maybe they will have to roll, they have to in competitions for 1,000 time or whatever, 1,000 hour whatever to get here. Okay, so that is what it is. Okay, the reality. Now look at Wing Chun. Do we have this complete? Do we have the momentum, the form, and then the body condition complete? Well, again, I don't have to answer that questions. It is in public. He have answered it for us. Okay. So this is very clear. So if we want to talk about the the future trend of develop and Wing Chun and so forth, then you have to go like Chi Chi Guang before and go like the Japanese Jiu-Jitsu evolution to Judo, and then Judo get into the scientific, and then it how to say that it spread out, you know, and the information scientific spread out, influence the new Jiu-Jitsu, modern Jiu-Jitsu, modern Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so forth. Okay. So there's a proper way, the proper development, which is since 1540s. If the art can develop, it develop that way. Okay, and then it just going down like today's Judo, you know, Jiu-Jitsu, modern Jiu-Jitsu, it keeping grow, pick up different techniques and so forth, which is needed. Okay. So you talk about the future of the Wing Chun. Are you ready to do that? Are you ready to bring the short strike core back with the 4 momentum zone, like in the General Chi Chi Gong time or the 1780 for the Shaolin short strike time, and you know, going to just the direction like the Jiu-Jitsu Judo influence, the modern Jiu-Jitsu type of directions. You're ready to do that. If you're ready to do that, Wing Chun will grow. If you're not ready to do that, you take the path of the movie, this grandmaster and so forth, legend, then you go back to 1540. At that time, you know, all you can hear all this grandmaster's name and single element and partial. And we know by today, internal in this mainstream traditional Chinese martial arts, it's not there. Okay, go check the Japanese records, check the Korean records, you see what is reality. Okay, so again, you know, there's no need to argue anything. You look at how the 1540 single element, this single element partial to 1560s to this is 1784 to 1850s, and then today 2018, and then you see the Japanese trend now go to physics, and then get to today modernize all the Judo, Jiu-Jitsu and so forth. This is the proper way. So are we ready to go this way? Like this, okay? Taking this the same direction to go down. Are we ready to do that? If you are not ready to do that, then this is the verdict. Okay. So that's how I look at this. Okay. I can be wrong, but you know, this is how I look at per history for past 500 years. And for 2 countries, one is China, one is Japan. That's how it is. Okay. And so I wrote this book with a notion. This is 2018. This is 1850. I wrote the book. I like to bypass this so that map whatever in 1850s into today's, into scientific. So actually I'm following this. So I bring, the book is to bring the core, the short strike core plus the 4 momentum zone, the basic, and then into science, into physics to here. Okay. So this is 1850s. So this is 2018. So you have a lot of different versions of Wing Chun and so forth. So what I'm doing is with my books, I'm bringing whatever the short strike core and the 4 momentum zone stuff back to here. You know, people is free to do whatever they want to do, but at least I want to make this thing here available today to everybody, to every Wing Chuners. If they want it, it's in my books, for whatever it is, and it's in my video. Okay. So that's what I'm doing. Okay. I just say it in today's language. So this is to share with you today, and what I see, you know. First, I'm not some kind of guru, and I don't know it all. I'm not the grandmaster. I'm just tell you whatever it is here exists into here, and then show you the entire thing how it evolved. Does the internal art and so forth, chi and blah 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 happen? Well, if it has in China, and always we say, wow, this thing is 2,000 years old, this is 500 years old, this is internal and blah blah blah, and this grandmaster. If that thing really exists, Chi Chi Guang do not have to do what he's doing. Okay? That's that simple. So again, right now there's only 2 ways. You don't have a other alternative. Okay? For Wing Chun, for what I see, there's only 2 outcome, 2 direction in main. Single. Okay, so here, Japan. This 2018. So this is multiple evolutions of Wing Chun. Okay. So for me, there's only 2 ways. One is going the same ways as this one, and evolve, and then using whatever 1560s, and you evolve. 2018, you keeping evolve with everybody, following the trend of the world, evolve, because like the modern jiu-jitsu is evolve, modern other martial is evolve, Wing Chun evolve, we're taking the same trend, knowing the core of the short strike, 4 momentum zone, and improve it, scientific, and keeping evolve with everybody, follow everybody's pace of the world. Or one, get into this, this grandmaster is the best, this is the king of this martial arts, and this is internal Chinese 1,000-year secret, go back to the 1540. So there's only 2 ways. One is you go this direction, you go these directions, so like everybody else, evolve, keeping evolve, or one go back to the 1540, and that is what is the outcome? The outcome is 1540. The Chinese cannot fight the Japanese pirate. So it's technical trend. You boil down to this. Okay. So this is to share with you. No, so again, don't shoot me as a messenger or coming with others or this lineage and so forth. This is history data. This is based on science and so forth. Okay. As how you want to evolve Wing Chun, that is your freedom. Okay. I just have to present whatever I know, and I have the obligation to let people know what's going on. Okay, because this is a Chinese culture, a Chinese tradition. This is how things evolve. Okay, and everybody deserves to know that.